Extending Victoria's state of emergency. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.Heise here, and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee, because we're going to have a look at this article from news.com.au. Dan Andrews to introduce bill to extend the state of emergency in Victoria. Now, we've looked at that in previous videos, restrictions for up to 12 months. We also looked at, here, back in September of 2020, extended detention and the additional powers given to civil servants in Victoria to detain people. And this is over a 2-hour live stream. We go through just the entire document. You've got a Bill of Rights in Victoria. A Bill of Rights which they can get out of. So it's kind of useless. They're going to write a document, put it forward to Parliament, going, yeah, we've got this Bill of Rights, fantastic. Everyone feels like they've got this protection. And all they need, there's just a way to get out of it. So what's the point of having a Bill of Rights if they can write a document to weasel their way out of the requirements in the bill? So if you haven't seen that stream, I'll link to it in this video. Have a look at it, guys. Check it out, because some of the things in there are quite concerning. And well, now it looks like the state of emergency is being pushed to be extended once again. The Victorian government has launched an attempt to extend the state of emergency until the end of the year. There you go. There you go. Premier Daniel Andrews confirmed on Tuesday the government would introduce a bill into Parliament to extend Victoria's state of emergency past its maximum legislative period of 12 months. So what's the point in having these maximum legislative periods, or all these, apparently these checks and balances for our politicians, for the rampant authoritarian potential risk, when they can just ignore it, change the rules? The Premier declared a state of emergency in Victoria on March 16th, 2020, in response to the pandemic. It has been extended in 4-week periods since that date, but the government will need to pass new laws in order to extend it for longer than 12 months. The bill will attempt to extend the state of emergency until December 15 this year. Fantastic! You know, we're all meant to be back to normal. It's all meant to be good, apparently. The state of emergency allows the Chief Health Officer to legally introduce directions to help stop the spread of the pandemic, such as wearing masks and stay-at-home restrictions, as well as a whole lot of other things, guys. A whole lot of others. So, entering premises without a warrant, civil servants can detain people. Yeah. I think most people don't realize how much power the state has. And honestly, I watched a Peter Schiff episode where he was talking about people don't want freedom, they just want stuff. And they really don't care about their liberty. And I think he's got a smack bang. And in Victoria, they're a very left-leaning state there. They like to submit to authoritarian rule, and they want someone to take care of them. And I know there are a lot of people who are getting out of that state for that very reason. And where can they go? Mr. Andrews stressed that the bill would not mean new rules would suddenly be introduced. He said the extension was needed for legal certainty for coronavirus measures, such as having returning Australians come home through mandatory quarantine. These rules are all about staying safe and staying open, the Premier said. I'm very confident we will have good faith, constructive discussion with any and all members of Parliament who want to engage, and that will get this passed. We can't have mandatory quarantine unless we have a rule book, and you can't have rules unless you've got legal authority, and that's what the state of emergency gives us. This is not about new rules. This is just about keeping the current rules in place and potentially loosening them as conditions continue to get better. The bill would be expected to easily pass the lower house, where the government has a clear majority, but the Premier may need to negotiate with the crossbench to get the bill through the upper house. Now, that's a good thing. You want our politicians to have to negotiate. We saw this in the cash ban, how it just passed through the lower house when in a bloody empty chamber. No one was there. This is why I advocate for shifting the Overton window and more people becoming politically active. I would much rather people learn the power. Nearly spilled my stein. I would much rather people learn the power of their preferential voting system, and we have a mess of minors in the lower house. So there has to actually be some negotiation. That's the whole point of our political system. I know it's frustrating, I know it's annoying, but they're people that will go there and will represent us and will step up. You want a mix of people there. You want the politicians to have to negotiate and work for something, not just slide things through. Because then the bastards don't even turn out to the chamber. They'll be out there, then they'll walk in, yep, gone. We saw that with the cash ban. I'm hoping people will wake up to this. Mr. Andrews said, extending the state of emergency was not a particularly complex thing, but rather common sense. Public Health and Wellbeing Act 2008 initially only allowed for a state of emergency to be extended to a maximum of 6 months. So then what's the point of even having these acts if they just change the rules? But the Andrews government negotiated a new coronavirus clause in September last year that saw the maximum period extended to 12 months in response of the COVID-19 pandemic. They are now attempting to get the maximum period extended by a further 9 months to a total of 21 months. The first direction imposed by Chief Health Officer Brett Sutton on March 16, 2020, when the state of emergency was declared, was to ban non-essential mass gathering of more than 500 people, such as cultural events, sporting events, or conferences. See, here's the thing. Should it be one person as the Chief Health Officer, or should we have a board of medical professionals there with a variety of ideological positions and backgrounds to make these decisions, not one person? There's a suggestion. We need to think about these impacts on people's lives, the damage this has done to our economy and some people, and realize that we need to change our system so that there's more rigorous thought process to this. That we're not just behest to one person who might be politically biased or could be influenced. It's much harder to influence a group of people than one person. That direction has since been superseded by the COVID-safe summer public events framework, which allows Victorians to gather in large numbers at approved organised events such as Boxing Day Test and the Australian Open, and protests. Under a state of emergency, authorised officers, at the direction of the Chief Health Officer, can act to eliminate or reduce a serious risk to public health by detaining people, restricting movement, preventing entry to premises, or providing any other direction an authorised officer considers reasonable to protect public health. So, it's being extended. Can't say I'm surprised. What do you think, everyone? Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments down below. Please like, share, and subscribe to the channel. If you're a fan and want to enjoy the content I create here, there are a few ways you can support us. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. You can support us using our affiliate links from Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve, or AussieBroadband. You can buy merch from Teespring or HeiseSays, use Gold Pass from the Perth Mint, or support us via PayPal. You can get 5 free share trades and give us 5 free share trades using the ShareWealth link below. SelfWealth link below. I'll get it right one day. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.